36S has performance to match its Porsche rivals, but there's one big issue some petrolheads might have. Unlike the Porsches, the Jag isn't available with a manual gearbox.
Now, Tiff's probably getting very upset at this point, but don't panic, because the shifts, up and down, are so rapid. Incredible. If you're one of these people that thinks that Jaguars are all driven by people with elasticated waistband trousers and bedside alarm clocks they got free with a pension plan, where have you been for the last 5 years? I bet you're still making jokes about Skodas.
The F-Type's interior is more luxurious than either of the Porsches, and out on the road it feels a bit more refined. But that is only half the story. This is an unashamed two-seat sports roadster, and as pretty and refined as it may be, it's got to have seriously sharp handling and poise. Luckily, that's a racetrack behind there, and it's totally empty. What a stroke of luck. It's essential that the Jag comes alive on a circuit. Porsches make me feel like a driving god, so the F-Type needs to do the same.
It's such a confidence-inspiring car to drive. Very progressive power delivery. Nothing snappy, nothing nasty. Very satisfying. It's a bit of an ego massage, actually. It's good. I mean, what a magnificent combination of being a composed road car, but also a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Deciding whether the Jag is better than the Porsches is almost impossible. It's more luxurious than either of them, and even out on the circuit, the Porsche's home turf, it puts a massive grin on my face. It's crunch time.
Would I have one above a Boxster S or a Cayman S? Do you know what? Yes, I would. I would. And the Cayman S and the Boxster S are both phenomenal cars. Would I have one above a 911? Probably not.
What swings it is that the 911 feels racier and more alive on the limit, while almost matching the Jag's level of luxury.
The reason for my subterranean start point? This 1 kilometre access tunnel is the best place on Earth to take in the XJ's growling exhaust. Oh, it's so eerie down here. It's like being on the set of a sci-fi film. Dark and wet and damp and cold. There's a couple of miles that way and a couple of miles that way of sheer rock, which is not ideal if you're claustrophobic, which I am. Petrol cars aren't usually allowed down here, so they're making a very rare exception to allow us here. This is an opportunity not to be missed. Let's make some noise. Windows down. Oh, I've just done a ton. Fantastic. Feels so naughty.
With a 3.8-litre straight six, 0 to 60 took 7.1 seconds. That's fast now, but was ballistic 50 years ago.
265 horses under the bonnet. Just squirt it. Squirt it.
I say, ding dong, eh?
The speedo has stopped working. It's just immaterial, though, isn't it?
That means we can go faster.
Potentially.
We've got an alibi now.
The Jaguar XJ220. Released in 1994, it cost £400,000 and had a top speed of 220 miles an hour. Back then, this was the fastest road car on the planet. It's the perfect benchmark for this, the brand new Jaguar XKR-S. With 550 horsepower, it's exactly as powerful as its famous uncle. So, I wonder if it can keep up.
And we're away. It's neck and neck. I think I'm going to beat him to 62. He's edging. I'm foot to the floor. Now he's really on the way. The extra 400 kilos of weight I'm carrying is beginning to show. I'm reading 170, 180, 190, and he's well away.
So the first thing you need to know is that the XKR-S isn't as fast as a supercar icon, but it's unbelievably close.
The second thing you need to know is that it's seriously expensive. This XKR-S costs £100,000, and that's 20 grand more than the XKR. So how do they justify that?
Well, a sports exhaust, lowered suspension, and an extra 40 horsepower goes some way to explain it. But I reckon a big chunk of it goes on the seat.
It's an extraordinary chair which electronically adjusts, not just in the normal 2 or 3 ways, but in 16. I particularly like this little rib hugger. Ooh, yes.
But a £100,000 car should be a little frightening as well as comfy.
Now, whilst Jaguar have been producing wonderful luxury saloons and grand tourers for a long time now, what they always seem to lack is a car that can really handle well. And even the XKR rolls too much and spins all the power away in a cloud of smoke. Will the RS prove to be my sort of Jaguar? Well, there's a bit of smoke in the rear-view mirror, but nothing like as bad. The car was much stiffer, it pitched into the corner nicely. How will the roll be? No, it's staying flat, it's responsive. This is more me. You can get a bit too much one way, and it goes back the other way. It's still a little bit of a handful. I tell you what, you can forget this fancy seat. The improvement of the handling is worth 20 grand to me. Woohoo! Nice.
Jaguar says that the Sport Brake has identical handling to the Saloon.
They recalibrated the back end so it's got air suspension instead of coils, and it's got stiffer anti-roll bars.
So to test that out, we put Tiff behind the wheel and asked him to drive them back to back around a circuit.
We had a saloon, we did a lap time with it. So this is the standard saloon. Oh,
I can't hold myself in the seat.
it's a bit loose at the rear end. Actually, it's quite neutral. It's a bit of understeer and then a bit of oversteer on the way out. Once you get used to it, it's rather fun, actually.
The ride's good in the back.
Yeah, it is. It is, yeah.
It's very quiet and refined, I have to say.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Whoa! Fighter! Fighter! Have you got a lamp?
Tiff looked more in control of the estate car version. What are you doing? Jesus, he's unhinged, I've told you this
It's
before.
110 kilograms heavier. It can never be quicker.
It feels a lot stiffer though than the Saloon.
It feels a bit stiffer, but it's twitchier in a way. It doesn't plough into a big understeer like the Saloon did.
On paper, it's 0.2 of a second slower to 60 than its Saloon cousin. You'd never know that it weighs 1.9 tonnes, would you? Not the way it goes around that track.
Oh, the edge of the road!
Tiff, come on!
Look, I've got to do the time, I've got to do the time! I didn't feel as fast.
52.2 we have to beat.
It was quicker on the stopwatch. And stop the clock now.
51.2, a second quicker.
A second?
Bit surprised by that. Well done, Jaguar.
But you have an engine which sounds so fantastic. Why would you want to do that? It's such a great engine. It is such a